Hey everybody, welcome to another Bosch and Roll video. Today I'm playing Modern. It's been a while. I recorded Death and Taxes last month. The new Skyclave Apparition tech was too hot to not touch. But other than that, it's been several months since I really dug into Modern. But I've had this deck in my queue basically since Zendikar Rising came out. McWinSauce, Magic Online user McWinSauce, posted this deck with when Omnath was first printed. And this deck is basically just your rare binder. Just almost every card in this deck is a rare or mythic, and they're all bangers. We got Teferi, Hour of Promise, Omnath, Cryptic Command, Jace, Uro, Teferi, Force Negation, Wrenn, and 6. And then even most of the lands. Field of the Dead is probably the primary win con here. So what this deck is doing is much like the Legacy Snowco deck, which I've posted several videos on. Obviously, we don't have Oko himself. Sorry about that. Oko is one of the cards they banned after I won a Grand Prix. They banned 3 cards out of my deck after I won the Grand Prix with Urza. But there's plenty of stuff left to win the game with. This is just a classic control deck, so we're going to make our land drops. We're going to trade 1-for-1 with Path to Exile, Lightning Bolt, Mana Leak. And then once the coast is clear, we're going to stick one of these card advantage engines. Wrenn and 6, Teferi, Uro, Jace, Omnath, Teferi. And we're just going to beat up our opponent with what's left. If you've been watching my channel, this is just like Snowco. This is just like Rug Xerox and Vintage. This is control as Richard Garfield intended. This might not be the color pie Richard Garfield had in mind, but this is exactly the type of Magic that he designed cards like Cryptic Command to play. So I'm pretty excited, and like I said, I've wanted to play this deck for weeks now, and I'm stoked I finally get a chance. So let's get into these games. Alright, so we're on the play for round 1. Our opponent is a Lurrus deck, which means that they are something aggressive. Uro's pretty good there. We have 3 lands. Engineered Explosives is great against decks with only 2 converted mana costs in them. So I can keep this. We have a turn 2 Wrenn and 6, or we can hold up Mana Leak. This hand would be pretty horrendous on the draw, but against the Lurrus deck, but we're on the play. So and I think I'd have to keep it anyway. Alright, so it looks like they're a shadow type deck. Like I said, I'm pretty far out of the Modern loop, so sorry if my metagame analysis isn't top notch for this video. But most of the things happening in Modern are reasonably close to what has happened in the past. So I'll try to figure it out as we go. Alright, so they targeted themselves with Bauble. Didn't like what they saw, so they shuffled up. Engineered Explosives. Excellent card to have in the tank here. I would like to pay 2 life. I think I just want to get Wrenn and 6 in play and active rather than hold up Mana Leak. Does that even make sense? Nah. I'm going to hold up Mana Leak. Like, Wren's not actually doing anything in play right now. If I had a fetch land, if this was like fetch for Stomping Ground, I would have gone for it, but it's not. Hopefully we can just leak a Tarmogoyf for something here. Scourge of the Skyclaves. Ooh. So 20 minus the highest life total. Alright, yeah, I can't play Uro and just remove this thing. As much as that would be great. Though Uro will help keep that thing under control. I guess that would have been a pretty easy read also if, like that end step Lightning Bolt, they're obviously setting up for something like that. So now Wrenn and 6 has a reason to be in play because we drew Lonely Sandbar. Like I can cycle Lonely Sandbar, regrow it. Hopefully I just draw a land naturally because I do want to hit my land drop. I don't want to rely on this Lonely Sandbar to be my land drop and draw cards. Another Scourge. Okay, so this is a little awkward. Like, I think I just evoke Uro and see what happens. Unfortunately, all of my lands have come into play tapped so far, so I can play Uro. And if I find an untapped red source, I can kill this Scourge. I guess it depends on what the red source is. I am actually just going to put this into play. I think I'm going to need it. I should probably activate my Sweet Planeswalker. Oh, target nothing. So Ren might soak up some damage here. Maybe it just gets Abrupt Decayed. I don't know. We'll see. But gaining 3 really did get this Scourge from a 5/5 down to a 2/2. It's pretty great. Thoughtseize, bummer. Luckily my whole hand answers this threat they have. I can't actually cast Cryptic, but all 3 of these other cards are removal spells. It's also pretty cool that Scourge grows when it attacks. So I guess if they take Path to Exile, attack me, I lose 2 life, and then they take... This is out of Bolt range, but Bolt plus Ren still finishes it off. Well, it's going to be interesting. Depends on what their follow-ups are. Like, if they... It doesn't matter if they can lose life at instant speed, but if they bolt me at instant speed, that sucks. Like, if I go for that deal 4 line. Alright, let's see if they dedicate any effort to Ren. No, they don't. Alright. I probably wouldn't either. That makes sense. Because this is a 2-drop, my explosives would also kill Ren. It's like pretty lame. So I could cycle this and then pick it up with Ren and then play it. Or I could go for this Lightning Bolt play, which gets absolutely punished if they can reduce my life total at instant speed. I mean, I'm going to go for it. Removing this thing would basically end the game. High risk, high reward. This Ketria Triome also gets me... Okay, command. Bummer. Alright, so I'm going to discard the Cryptic. And then I'll run this out. This plays around discard, but it plays into Kolaghan's command. So we'll just see what they have. Still ignoring Ren. They might have like Battle Rage. Alright, that's not lethal yet. I'm at 2. Oh, wait. Oh, right, because the first hit grows for the second hit. Okay, yeah. Can you tell I haven't played against Scourge of Skyclave yet? Alright, yeah, that was pretty cool. Alright, so I want all of this kind of stuff in my deck. All of these removal spells. Veil of Summer is good against... I guess it hits Thoughtseize and certain modes of K-Command. So what is not so good here? Wrenn and 6 was not so good there. Omnath seems like kind of a pipe dream, though Force of Negation is not necessary in this matchup. That's like a pretty expensive card to not impact the board. Teferi seems like he'll be good, or he's good. I'm gonna shave an Uro, because I suspect they have some sort of graveyard hate. Like, they're not just gonna let me Uro them. The front end is still pretty good. The gain 3 life to control the Skyclave guy. And I could shave an Omnath. Maybe it's Hour of Promise. Like, right now, like, I'm obviously bringing in everything that helped me get to the late game, and now the decision is, what do I want left in the tank when we get to the late game? Like, Cryptic Command might not be so good here. That is an expensive reactive spell that doesn't actually remove things from the board. I think this is good. Like, I think all their creatures are going to be too big for Fire Spout. With Death Shadow and Scourge of Skyclave, Aether Gust doesn't actually answer black cards. So, yeah, I'm going to do this. Yeah, maybe I should have committed to that Engineered Explosives earlier than I did. Yeah, I'll keep this. We got the turn 1 Veil of Summer on the play. So if they go for Thoughtseize, we can punish. Oh, that would be great to just hit them with a turn 1 Veil of Summer. Get that sweet value. We have fetch lands in this hand too, so we have some untapped mana sources, which didn't happen last game. The cool thing is that Veil of Summer, countering Thoughtseize, they don't lose 2 life either, which they actually do care about. Then I have a growth spiral set up for the next turn. This is pretty sweet. Alright, Swift Spear or whatever. Like, I can even growth spiral into Veil of Summer if I deem that to be necessary. I could also just bolt this thing right now. I'd have to take 3 to do it, but how much damage is this going to do in the meantime? Alright, let's see what lands actually are in the deck. I'm going to get Steam Vents. And Bolt right away. I don't want to fuck around on their turn where Prowess, they could save it with Prowess, then also get damage on me. Like, if they had Mutagenic Growth or whatever, then I don't super care about that. I guess I should have fetched in their end step also. On turn 1. I probably want to try them here. I'm not going to pay 2 life. Hopefully I'm not just dead to this thing. The Teamer Battle Rage combo is pretty fucked. I don't know how fast they can burst damage with Scourge. Alright, they had the higher life total, now they have the lower one, so now it's my life total that matters. It was theirs a second ago. Hex Drinker. Am I dead to Battle Rage here? I think I am. Yeah, I just take 15. Alright, I'm glad they didn't have it. Wow. Yikes. Alright, Growth Spiral. Find me some action. Alright, so I have triple. I think I just want the other Triome. Just get this mana set up. Okay, so I can play Teferi, bounce this, kill this. Alright, make sure I leave red and green up. Alright. Blue, white. So they could probably just like bolt me on the way out here, but we'll see if that matters. They've done a good job playing around Veil of Summer this whole game. I kind of need Teferi to draw a land too. I haven't made a land drop yet. Alright, you get out of here. Bummer. Alright, so I don't have to mess with this Hex Drinker yet. I'll see if they want to sink anything into pumping it. They probably don't. Alright. Hex Drinker's out of here. I have a second Teferi for the Scourge. If they like Thoughtseize plus Scourge here, that sucks. Alright, that's actually great because I have the backup anyway. They must have Battle Rage in their hand if they care that much about Teferi. Alright, so this can get Mystic Sanctuary, so I'm gonna hold on for a second before I fetch with that. Alright, now we have Veil of Summer and Path to Exile and Mystic Sanctuary for Path to Exile. So this is starting to look pretty good. Though they do still have 6 cards in hand and Luris hanging out over there. So we're not totally free. Maybe someday we'll cast this super sick Veil of Summer that I've been counting on the whole game. Alright, there's Scourge. I guess I can fetch Mystic Sanctuary, get back Lightning Bolt, Bolt Hex Drinker, Path. Yeah, that sounds good. And I can still Growth Spiral at the end of this turn. Cool. This deck is fun. Alright, we found a win condition. And my grip is full of instants, and I have Teferi, so there's no reason to make any moves right now. Nile Spellbomb. I don't think I care about that. Nah. I already popped off my Sanctuary. There's not an RO in there. Field of the Dead's in play. I'm going to start turning the corner pretty soon when I make my land drops. Yeah, and they're just like desperately digging for cards here. Like that was, they mostly just cycled that. I guess it mitigates a RO off the top. Alright, Bolt U. Path U. Alright, they can't play Shadow right now, they're at 14. And we're untapping with Cryptic Command plus Mystic Sanctuary. And we're going to start making zombies. Alright, this one should be pretty much over. I would Cryptic Luris because that represents so many more cards. Dismember. Alright, so they must have a handful of shadows. Like, I don't think that this was the important part of the Dismember, removing my zombie. But I'm gonna Veil anyway. This Veil's been sitting here a long time. Let's get some value off it. Yeah, that's the shadow. Surprise, surprise. Multiple shadows. Surprise, surprise. Hoo. That's so many. Alright, so I can use Cryptic to tap their squad and bounce Mystic Sanctuary and loop that for a while. So what lands? I think Hallowed Fountain. Yeah, I only have one white source right now. Don't need 2 life. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. That's a good number. That means I can Uro and Cryptic. So green, blue, colorless. I can still Cryptic. I'm not going to bring Uro back. And we're pretty close to just a tap your team Alpha Strike because they are at 9. I hope they don't play like Ghost Quarter or Field of the Dead, or Field of Ruin, not Field of the Dead. I don't think they do. Like, I don't know where this deck would find room for a card like that, but if they have it here, I'm going to lose to it. Alright, return, tap all, bounce target permanent, tap all creatures. Target this. This will make another zombie and get back Cryptic. Teferi can draw the Cryptic immediately. I guess I attack, like unless they have another big creature in the way. But I would bounce whatever the big creature is, and then... Because I have to bounce something with Teferi to get the Cryptic in my hand. Alright, they put Luris in their hand. That's fine. Alright, Sanctuary. Get back. Cryptic. Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think Lonely Sandbar is better off as a zombie right now. Oh, I already played Mystic Sanctuary. Never mind. No, Lonely Sandbar can draw Cryptic next turn, which is pretty important to my plan. Alright, so if I make red green, I still have what I need. Alright, so red, green. 1, 2, 3, 1. So I can cycle Lonely Sandbar and still hold up Cryptic. Yep, alright. I didn't fuck it up. And I believe I have them dead next turn with the Celestial Purge. Like, I tap the creatures that are in play, and then they cast the follow-up Shadow. I guess they can cast Luris and Shadow. This Teferi is pretty nice, just making sure that this shit works. Like attacking with the 3 zombies, like I can purge Luris, attack with 3 zombies around the Death Shadow, they go to 1 and Ren pings them for the last point. I could also Mystic Sanctuary, put Cryptic on top, cycle with only Sandbar, cast Cryptic on my turn to tap their whole team and attack for 6. It looks like I have it covered a couple different ways here, unless they can burn me out or some shit. So they could play the Nile Spellbomb right now. Alright, that's pretty good. But they're still dead. I guess if they have Land Shadow, they're not dead. No, they still are to the Ren and 6 line. Never mind. Yeah, we got this. Alright, get out of here. Splat. Alright. Evened up the score. I don't think my sideboard plan changes. We've seen Nile Spellbomb, so I think I was right to shave on the Uros. None of this other stuff is going to help, though Cryptic was pretty essential that game. Maybe I have to be playing to a point where I'm looping Cryptic, because it seems like that's hard for them to deal with. So, if I want this third Cryptic back in, what do I cut? Maybe it's Jace, maybe it's Teferi, maybe it's Our Promise. Like these, like 5 drops are a little sketch. Though, relying on Cryptic Command against the Counterspell deck is a little loose. We were lucky to just have Veil of Summer that whole game. They also just never cast a Thoughtseize, unfortunately. The Veil of Summer was not great, though it was good insurance. Now we've seen Hex Drinker, though, and I guess we could catch like an early Shadow or Scourge, but no, I'm not super into Fire Spout still. I think I do want the Cryptic Command. I think Teferi. No, maybe I think maybe it's Our Promise. It's one of these 3 is the cut. So, pros and cons. Removes the threat right away, then draws cards. Removes the threat right away, then draws cards. Can stop 2 threats right away. No, I think Our Promise, I've talked myself into it, is the worst one here. Alright, let's do it. We're on the draw. The terrifying draw. Okay, so I can fetch Hallowed Fountain with this Scalding Tarn, and that turns on most of my hand. I'll keep this. It has some answers. Okay, cool. Now I can fetch Steam Vents, and I just have all my colors. Yeah, that's way better. So I'm going to get the Steam Vents. Not interested in paying life. I am slightly concerned about their hand. Like, why is it so slow? What did they keep that plays the game like this? Or are they just sculpting to like a mid-game where they fetch 3 times, Thoughtseize me, and cast 3 Death Shadows? It's kind of how it looks. Scourge. I'll do 1/1 Scourge. So I can bolt this Scourge. Though I think Growth Spiral is better. I want to draw cards and keep setting up. Like, the more spells I can cast, the better. I'm not going to crack that just yet, because that grows the Scourge. Though maybe that doesn't matter. Like, 2-2 versus 1-1 Scourge. Though having more lands in my deck to draw them naturally, because right now I'm all about hitting land drops. Alright, so if I jam this to Fairy here, what does that do? It's probably pretty reckless. Like, it probably just eats a Lightning Bolt. I'm just going to pass with all my sweet instants in my hand. I think... I don't know. Like, maybe I'm supposed to bolt when the getting's good. Yeah, but if I bolt them, they can bolt, or bolt this, they can bolt me in response, and then I lose the play. So I guess I'll just purge this thing. That's the safest answer. Alright, Thoughtseize is going to resolve. I suspect they'll take Condemn. Oh, they took Big Teferi, that's weird. Are they not able to pressure me at all? Because I guess Big Teferi, if I draw the land, I can plus draw a card and hold up Condemn plus Bolt. That's pretty good. Luris is in the hand. Alright. I still don't think I fetch here. I want to draw lands naturally. Should have been more specific. I think I might just have to play this. So I can minus immediately and make sure I get a card. I could lose this thing to an Abrupt Decay or whatever. If I minus, I lose it to Bolt, but I still got a 2-for-1 off it. I'm going to minus. I just want to make sure I get cards in this matchup. And if they bolt this, it means they're not bolting me, which makes the Scourge of Skyclave worse. They can get a Mishra's Bauble immediately before I can bolt Luris. This Uro is going to be pretty juicy. They targeted themselves with Bauble. Alright. Uro was going to be juicy, but now it's not. So maybe I save my Bolt. Oh, now they're at 7. That is not very many life points. So I think I want a Timely Reinforcement and then Bolt. Field 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can pop Spellbomb pretty much as they please. Oh, I can cast Timely as an instant, which is fucked up. So, yeah, I'll just Bolt Luris now. So if they present a creature, I can just flash in timely. I don't think that Field of Ruining Them does anything. Yeah, I was hoping they would just pop their Spell Bomb to cycle right now, and then I can commit with the fresh Uro next turn, like get things going there. I'm pretty sure I saw Basic Forest in one of these games, so I can't like take them off a whole mana. Wow, they just have nothing. There's Uro. Here's Mana Leak against the Shadow deck with 6 lands. So it takes 5 cards to escape Uro. There's 1, 2, 3. I think at this point I can fetch a little. You get Stomping Ground. No, I want Islands. I'm gonna get. My Steam Fence is in play. All right, so I want this, and I want Hallowed Fountain. I'm leaving the Triomes in the deck because I'm cool to draw and cycle them. I like that. Alright, it's going to be hard to lose this game now that we have Cryptic. I guess Field of Ruin puts another card in the graveyard for Uro, so that's worth considering. Alright, they're at 6. Dead to Double Bolt. So now if they commit any creature to the board, I can flash in Timely Reinforcements, make 3 1/1s, bounce whatever that creature is, and then attack them to 3, and they're dead in 2 turns. Jeez. There's nothing going on, which is fine. Okay, now we're in business. This will, over the next few turns, set up Mystic Sanctuary to go with my Cryptic. They've done such a good job destroying their own life total that I'm not worried about the clock at all. There's 6 cards in hand. They're either like Scourge of the Skyclave and Temur Battle Rage, just stone bricks, or they're setting up a huge turn where they like Thoughtseize me and deploy a bunch of creatures. So based on this, I assume it is the handful of bricks version. All right, so there's 3 soldiers. I want to get Breeding Pool to make sure I have enough islands. All right, yeet. Ren. What do I want to do with Ren here? I could ping them to 2, but I think I would rather keep cards flowing. Like I have Cryptic, and I can Cryptic plus Mystic Sanctuary for a Cryptic now, so I don't know how we can reasonably lose this game. And if they just have the 1 blocker still, then I can attack for 2 around it and ping them for the last 1. I can also just let all their creatures resolve and tap their squad in the end step. That's fine. Veil of Summer. You got me. Yeah, Cryptic Command's tap mode doesn't target. Condemn isn't blue or black. I'm just going to tap their squad in the end step. And if they attack Teferi, I'll condemn. Because I don't want them to turn on all their instants. Their hand is clearly a bunch of bricks right now, and I want to keep it that way. I will protect the king. I guess instead of condemning, I could have just tapped before combat, but that doesn't help against a second main. All right, I can't counter it, so what can I do? Return target permanent to its owner's hand and tap all creatures. All right, so I'm going to bounce my... I have white, I have green, I have red. I'm going to bounce my Hallowed Fount, or my Steam Vents. All right, your shit is tapped. All right, now I'm going to go get... I'm going to get a Triumph to make sure my mana is good. Supreme Verdict is some nice insurance policy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can blue, white. No, I do need another white. I could put Uro into play. I think I'm just going to attack them for 2. And hold up Supreme Verdict. I'm going to ping them with Ren. I am trying to get this game over. I am not going to pay 2 life for that. White, white, blue, art colorless. Okay, yes. I can still cast Supreme Verdict, and I have Uro sitting in the bin. Alright, they're at 2. They're out of fetchable lands. At least with Bloodstained Mire. If they have a forest, they can still get it. They might have to go for a main phase Temur Battle Rage. Alright, Veil doesn't matter. I can still Supreme Verdict. Dismember can't be countered. That's fine. Unless they can give this thing indestructible without casting an instant, none of this matters. Blue, blue. Oh, no. I need white, white, not blue, blue. White, white, blue, colorless. Did we win yet? If they have a follow-up creature, then we didn't win yet. But Uro is waiting to emerge. Put you to 1. Green, green, blue, blue. Uro. Another land. Alright, they're dead to my Ren and 6. They're dead to my Uro. They have 3 cards in hand. They can't cast instants. Sure. It's a 1/1 now. A lightning bolt to finish it off. Mana Leak was so close to being a playable card. Alright, and they gave it up, because Uro was coming back off these 2 fetch lands, plus Ren was lethal immediately. That was a great match, and we snuck it out. Right, we're on the play for round 2. This hand doesn't have any early interaction, but this is a like chugga machine for the mid game. So if we're playing against like Burn or some combo deck, we're probably just dead. But if this is anything remotely mid-range, we've got a plan. Triome is a good sign. There's a good chance this is a mirror. And I'm just going to bluff like I'm blue-white control for as long as I can get away with it, which is until next turn. Like if they spend this turn playing around Mana Leak instead of jamming Ren in 6, then we did a good job. Alright, so I want Rug Triome. Oh wait, no, I have Basic Forest, so I want Jeskai Triome. And I'm going to leave my other Triome in the deck to draw and cycle later. This one should be a shock land of some variety. Steam Vents, it has to be a blue one. I have red. Double green does matter, so I'll get Breeding Pool. Alright. What are they doing in my end step here? Just fetching. I'm going to go with Uro because I care less if it gets countered. Like if they Mana Leak the front half of an Uro, that's not a heartbreaker. If they Mana Leak to Fairy, that sucks a lot, actually. We're ready for Omnath. Not going to fetch. I would still like to draw lands where possible. I think I just want to fire off a second Uro. Just keep amassing resources here. So with one more land, I can play Teferi with Force of Negation backup. Ooh, now I can play Teferi with Mana Leak backup. That's pretty good too. Alright, white. I guess I need a blue mana, don't I? Yes, yes, yes. I guess they could still Force of Negation me, but that's alright. I need a blue source here. Double white, doesn't matter. I'll get Steam Vents. Alright, well, Force of Negation is still a 2-for-1. There it is, pitching Supreme Verdict. Alright. I have Force of Negation of my own. I'm ready with my Uros in the bin. So I could go for Uro or Omnath. I think I'll go for the one that I care less if it gets countered. Which is this one. This is all free money anyway. That already did something. And if they... Oh, it's getting a double bolt. It's going to draw a card and get double bolted. It's fucking 3 for 0. Not bad. So I don't know what my opponent is building up to over there. Like maybe they do have something crazy, like some crazy payoff that wins the game on its own. But every smaller exchange has been in our favor so far. Field of the Dead. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I cast Omnath with Field Force of Negation backup? No, because this comes into play tapped anyway. I don't even have the 7 mana I wanted. So now I'm just going to sit on field and my counter spells. I already have Cryptic plus Mystic Sanctuary to rebuy Cryptic set up here. Yeah, they're dead. Yeah, these mirrors can get grindy, but like I said, we got a 2-for-1 off the Force of Negation. We got a 3-for-1 off the Uro. 3-for-0 if you count like the second half of Uro as a free card, because the front half already drew a card. So yeah, we were way ahead there. I'm glad they were not able to come back. So now what do I do in the mirror? Mystical Dispute seems pretty good. Veil of Summer is good. I probably want these Aether Gus. Uro and Omnath are both, and Ren are all susceptible to that card. I don't think any of this other stuff comes in. Lightning Bolt can point at Planeswalkers, which is kind of important, even though like they don't have many creatures. But Lightning Bolt doesn't kill any of the creatures they have. I can shave on removal, I just have to figure out how much of what. Like maybe I go 2 and 2. Because I'm bringing in Gust for Uro and Omnath. Not that gusting them is a super long-term answer. Maybe I just want 1 bolt. Force of Negation does seem pretty important if we're going to be fighting over Planeswalkers and stuff. Maybe it's Hour of Promise. Am I just going to cut that card every time? Maybe like Force of Negation was like Mana Leak was pretty good. Force of Negation was bad for me because I was on the front foot. It was great for them. They didn't just die to Teferi because they had Force. Though they did eventually die because they got 2-for-1 off of a Force. I guess I am bringing in Mystical Dispute, so I'm just streamlining my counter suite here. I do still want as many late game bangers as possible. I just want to keep them on the back foot. Okay, I don't really want to get into a draw go game. I want to be in a draw cast a banger, they counter it or they lose game. Alright, this hand is fine. Maybe Engineered Explosives isn't important, but I guess if they get ahead on zombies with Field of the Dead, that's basically the only way to mop that up. Like I have the Field of Ruins to clear their field, but then I have to clean up the zombies afterwards. Gonna need to draw some lands either way. We have the turn 2 Ren and 6 with a fetch land though. So they're going to need an Aether Gust or Mana Leak to mess that up. I guess I shouldn't F6 because I'm holding a Force. I'm going to pitch Aether Gust. Yeah, I just F6 and was like, yeah, what could they do on 2 mana I care about? It's like, oh yeah, this card that I care a lot about. Alright, so I have red, I need green. So I'm going to get Breeding Pool, I think. Yeah, Breeding Pool sounds right. Let's hope they don't have the Force back, because I desperately need this. Alright. So we won the early exchange again, and we have Uro lined up. Even if, oh yeah, they're just packing it up. Yeah, these matches are pretty haymakery and snowbally, and I landed the first haymaker, they didn't. They might have missed their third land drop. Like we both may have kept 2 landers with Ren, and by countering theirs, they're done. So, all right, that was quick. We spent 45 minutes playing against Death Shadow and 8 minutes playing against the Mirror. Next round. Alright, we're on the play against another Lurrus deck for round 3. This hand is pretty dangerous. Lonely Sandbar is kind of shitty. I'm going to keep it though. Like, I play a lot of lands, and if I get up to this Uro, we're good. But I am going to lead on Sandbar. This also depends what kind of Lurrus deck they are. If they're Burn or Prowess, we might just get run over. If they're Shadow, we might have some time to dig. Alright, they're Prowess. I'm now in the awkward spot where I can't fetch in their end step to save life, because then I might end up color screwed on my own turn. Yeah, I would have mulliganed if I knew what we were playing against, so I can make better decisions in the subsequent games. It's going to come down to if I draw a helpful land this turn or not. I think I would force... Alright, I can't force that. I was about to say I would force a light up the stage here. Alright. I'm going to have to discard a card. I think Teferi is a long way off of being helpful here. Come on, land. Maybe. So you're saying there's a chance. So I'm going to get Temple Garden, because that adds 2 more of my colors. I would not like to pay 2 life, but I'm gonna. Okay, so Uro's gonna arrive a turn behind schedule, but at least it's coming. I guess maybe I'm supposed to get no, it doesn't matter. I was about to say maybe I'm supposed to get Stomping Ground to help with Ren and 6, but Stomping Ground, I still don't have the other color. I didn't know I was gonna flip a basic forest. This Abbot did the best possible thing, which is hit a land. So if I draw a red source, we're just in Omnath Town. And I will totally jam Omnath onto this board. Bummer. That's not what I wanted. Ooh, that's not a bad one. Though it's not a land either. Their hand's been kind of reasonable, like, for me. Like, we didn't die in a blaze of prowess triggers in the first 3 turns. I'm still at 18 despite missing land drops and them curving out. How many lands are actually in this deck? I should figure that out. 29. Almost half of this deck is lands. All right. I don't feel so bad about the keep. I still don't feel bad about the keep. It does kind of suck that most of the things I care about are going to be creatures, so this force isn't going to be great. Though having the second Omnath gives me an easy blue card to pitch to it now. I don't think I can force some negation that. I know I can, but I'm not going to. I think I'll save it for just like a lightning bolt, or something like light up the stage is really what I want to hit. The deck can't play like Sulfuric Vortex or anything because of Lurrus. They're creeping up on this Kroxa. Okay, that's a cantrip that fucks up my Uro, so that is worth the exile. It also plays from the graveyard, so exiling it's pretty nice. That must have been what they were thinking about in my end step for so long. It's weird they didn't go for it if that's what they had. I guess they were weighing the can get Force of Negation versus 2 extra damage. So if I draw a fetch land, I can fetch a blue source, and that's 5 cards for Uro. So this is weirdly competitive. 9, 10, 11. I am at functionally at 7, though. If I fetch, I go to 4. Uro comes back, I'm at 7. Yeah, it's not looking good. Unearth Kroxa. Alright, that doesn't actually do damage. I think Wrenn and 6 has had its opportunity to be helpful in this game, and it didn't. Alright, I'm at 5. Path to Exile. Are you helpful? I don't think so. So if I path this, I go to 4 anyway. So I can play this for 1, planning for the Soulscar Mage. I hate how many cards are in their hand. It's so many. Alright, get rid of this jerk. This does ramp them closer to Kroxa mana, but I guess they already have Kroxa mana. They're just missing the cards to exile. And basically, like, burn spells at this point kill me. Oh, they did nothing pre-combat. That's crazy. Or before damage. One, two, three, 4, 5. Alright, Kroxa can come back right now. I'm actually just dead. They Thoughtseize me, they bring back Kroxa. My hand is empty. Yeah, I'm dead. Alright, so that was pretty anemic out of them. Like, that game was somewhat competitive for most of right up until the very end, despite me missing a bunch of land drops. So that bodes well. I'm not impressed with Force of Negation. They just have very few things I care about 2-for-1ing myself against, especially when they have Thoughtseize and Kroxa. And I'm sure they have Kolaghan's Command in their deck too. Do I want Aether Gust? I probably do want Condemn. I have a lot of removal and Timely. Woo! There's a lot of good cards in this deck. I think Growth Spiral might be a little bit of a dream. Let's take out one of the Wrens. That's easy. So 5 cards are out. At least 7 cards are coming in with options on 2 more. Yeah, Growth Spiral might be a dream in this sort of matchup. I think I just have to hit my land drops fair and square. Or Uro them. Uro is a Growth Spiral already. Let's see, the Cryptics, Uros, Omnath. I think Teferi might be the shitter. Though being able to jam on 5, like it came up in the Death Shadow matchup, like being able to jam on 5, draw a card, and then pass holding up 2 1-mana spells, which I have a lot more of in the deck now. Though also casting a 4/4 that gains 4 life. Seems good. Maybe it's Jace. Or maybe I just don't need my Aether Gust. And this is fine. Yeah, I'm into this. Alright. Keeping all my big payoffs. Yep. This hand gets my mana under me. Timely Reinforcements is a great card. Supreme Verdict's a great card. This hand's pretty susceptible to Thoughtseize, but, you know, whatever. So is mulliganing to 6. Alright, seize my thoughts. So, like, in one way, this hand is susceptible to Thoughtseize because it only has 2 cards in it, but in the other way, like, if they draw 3 Thoughtseizes, one of them's dead because I don't have any spells. This hand is very set up to abuse Uro. Just so many lands to play. Alright, Lava Dart is exiled forever. Alright. Okay. I've had enough lands now, deck. We can stop. I don't think I want to Field of Ruin them, like, basically ever. Oh, I should have held off on that fetch land and just played normal lands. Like, I'm 1 turn away from regrowing. Alright, so I'm going to leave the fetch land in play. Because regrowing Timely or Supreme Verdict are both on the table here. I wish I had played Field of the Dead this turn. Oh no, because that doesn't help. Mystic Sanctuary. Nope. Alright, it's all fine. It's fine. I wish I had played a basic island, because then I'm holding back the Supreme Verdict. Though I guess that doesn't matter either, because I can play island, fetch for Mystic Sanctuary, put Timely on top, and then cast Supreme Verdict with what's left over. This is a good turn for them to regrow Luris, or just put Luris in their hand. Yeah, there it is. Because they know I have the sweeper. Hey. That's pretty nice. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let Abbott attack me. And I'm going to save my Bolt for Luris. I'm going to regrow Timely Reinforcements and just cast that. If they don't commit Luris, that's what I'm going to do. And it's also what I'm going to do if they do commit Luris. But I am not going to Bolt this Abbott. Like, that's not super important to me. Though, through their fetching, shocking, and Thoughtseizing, they do have higher life total than I do right now. But that's unlikely to be true at the end of this turn. Ah, you dick. I guess it doesn't matter. I'll just fetch. Alright, Sanctuary. Yes, I'd like to do that. Okay. For some reason, I thought that mattered for a second, but it doesn't. So they're going to reduce my life total, and then I'll just bring it back up. I don't even super care about Thoughtseize because I have 2 answers to Luris. Like, I just don't want Luris to stick around too long. That was weird. That was weird too. Like, their life total mostly doesn't matter. Actually, if they shock that in, then I have to damage myself in order to get Timely online. and also they can draw a card right away. So I think shocking that in just would have been way better. Unless they think I'm going to turn the corner and kill them with life points suddenly. They have set up a number of foods for Luris. Everybody in the bus. Just any spell sweeps my board here, but they need 3 spells to save their creature. And if they cast 3 spells, then they're not casting Luris. Lightning Bolt, my Dome, sure. That's the sweeper they were looking for. Do you have another spell? That is not where I would have pointed the Seal of Fire, unless the last unknown card in their hand is an instant. That was a mistake. I don't point all this out to make fun of my opponent, by the way. For those of you who watch my videos, you know that I'm trying to figure out how to play these decks and against them. Like, if learning from other people's mistakes is the streamlined way, it's the pro strat. So I'm just, yeah. So they just in the last turn cycle, they missed drawing a card, and like if they shocked in this Blood Crypt, it basically would have dealt 5 damage to me because Timely would not have triggered. They also could have drawn a card immediately off Nile Spellbomb. Now they're going to replay Seal of Fire, probably. I hope their last card in hand is a fetch land. Oh, no. Alright. Get out of here, Luris. Alright, so we're looking pretty stable, but we do need a way to win the game now. I mean, we have Field of the Dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I can make 2 zombies next turn with fetch land plus get something that also gets me all of my colors. I have all of my colors now, but 3 of them are stuck in this one land, so it doesn't actually help or count. Kolagon's Command is a really good card for them. Okay, yeah. They just clear the Supreme Verdict. Now they have Sunbaked Canyon plus 2 Nile Spellbombs to draw cards with. Yeah, they're trying to get ahead right now while the coast is clear. But if they Kolagon's Command regrowing Luris, that's probably their best path to victory. And Kroxa also, obviously. That card's real good all the time. Hello. Alright, so I need to get a red or green source to go with my other red or green source. I think I want Steam Vents. No. Okay, yeah, they're just backing up. I wanted a second green, so I would have gotten Temple Garden. Or, yeah, I didn't need Breeding Pool. I have so much blue. Yeah, I would have gotten Temple Garden there. Alright. They scooped it up to a Zombo. Can't beat it. I don't think my plan changes on the draw. Like, there might be some sort of argument to say that like Growth Spiral is good on the draw because it lets you jump ahead on mana when you're under the gun anyway. But I think just maxing out on 1 and 2 mana interaction to survive to just naturally hitting those 3rd and 4th lands is probably better. Like, what would I cut for a Growth Spiral? Like, am I cutting a Teferi or an Omnath? I don't think so. So, let's do it. I'm also not about to bring in, like, Stony Silence for their Nile Spellbombs or whatever. Like, you can bomb me. I'll play through it. Fist full of removal. My goodness. That's a keeper. This hand is not particularly susceptible to a Thoughtseize. That card is susceptible to Lightning Bolt. Targeted themselves with Bobble right away. They're doing... This one probably targets me, or they wait. Yeah, alright, so they know. Wow, wow, wow. They had the old Ancestral Recall start. Nobody knows what this hand does, but it's a keep. Good thing that wasn't Swift Spear. I would have taken a lot of damage. Alright, get out of here. Alright, so they basically kept a 2-card hand with 3 wild cards. So their hand could do anything right now. Let's see. I would suspect they take Timely Reinforcements. Yeah, that card is mostly better than Path to Exile. Like, there's a good chance they kept a 1-lander, figuring they're going to draw 4 cards before they have to play another land. Like, and maybe they did that and just got punished. I wouldn't be sad if that was the case. But we're about to find out. Nope, they had a land. Lucky. Soul Scar Mage again. This looks familiar. That was nice because I didn't have to shock to path that thing. This is definitely getting a white source, probably Hallowed Fountain, because I already have double green. I need to start working towards 3 islands. Exiled Lightning Bolt, and did not have a land to cast it. Love it. I guess I could get Triome, which is just like Hallowed Fountain plus. Yeah, I think I do want to do that. Like, there is some value to having cards you can draw. Ooh, nice. Like, redraws in the deck, but I'm still accumulating my resources, and I think at this point having an extra untapped land in the deck and access to better colors now is more important than planning for the later game where cycling a land is something I want to do. Though, I would not fault anyone for doing the opposite thing. That Teferi was fucking clutch, though. Let's take the pressure off, draw another card. Love it. Alright, yeah, my hand has not really improved here. It's the same cards they saw last time. Alright, so this Flooded Strand represents the Mystic Sanctuary, which means I can fetch probably Breeding Pool with this one in the end step with no sweat. Nile Spellbomb. Yes, no land, no land. Alright. Yeah, they did keep a land light hand counting on that draw 4 on turn 1 to find them more. And it does not seem to be working out. I am going to leave the other Triumph in my deck now that I have 6 lands already. Field of Ruin's interesting because Lurrus costs double black, and though I don't know, I don't think that matters. Alright, Flooded Strand, get out there, represent Mystic Sanctuary for me. I'll probably regrow Timely Reinforcements, though my life total is higher than theirs. Alright, well, that forces the decision. Alright, Mystic Sanctuary. Get back. Reinforcements. I kind of hope they play another spell to get my life total under 12. Alright, that counts. So I'm going to let them hit me here, get me down to 11 life, which turns on the timely. Oh, I don't have double white. I should have played Field of Ruin, then I would have had double white available. Yeah, that's awkward. That was a mistake. Like, if they discard my path right now, that sucks pretty hard. Alright, you're dead. They have Lava Dart in the graveyard, so I don't have great blocks anywhere. It looks like they seem to have forgotten about their Lava Dart, though, so I'll just soak up 2 damage with this soldier. Alright, I'll play the card that they know about, just to protect some information. I guess they probably didn't forget about Lava Dart, they just are not in a position that they want to cast it. It's also awkward because they can Lava Dart with the land I target with Field of Ruin, and then we're both down a land, and there might be board states where that favors them. They targeted themselves with that. Alright, so I'll block here. I am going to move on the Path to Exile here. That does get them out of their mana glut. But I also want to protect my life total. Like, maybe I'm supposed to block the Abbot and just take 2 and wait another turn. Like, if they're able to finagle around to a place where they have Lyris in play and I can't remove it because I used Path to save 2 life, then I'm going to feel pretty bad about that. So I've drawn another white. I have lots of blue, including 3 islands. Blue's pretty good, though, so I'll just get more blue. Nice. Alright, I mean, that's a nice insurance policy. Though the Nile Spellbomb messes up my looping ability. Swift Spear, I don't think I counter that. Alright, 2 damage is fine. Still at 15. I'm kind of hoping I'm able to hit Lyris with this Cryptic. Alright, they're making their move. That was a good one. Okay, so I can counter Lyris and remove Swift Spear. The Sanctuary will force them to pop Spellbomb, which clears the way for future Uros. Oh, JK, there's another one. I also don't know how many basic lands they play, but it can't be that many. There's already 3 of them in play. Though I guess they are 2 colors, so maybe it is just a million. Who knows? So they should be suspicious of this. I know Lurrus is in their hand, and I just use spot removal on a creature that isn't Lurrus. So they either think I'm a huge idiot, or they should know that I have a second answer to Lurrus. I think because they have this double spellbomb thing going on, maybe I'm just supposed to counter draw. Alright, they didn't fall for it at all. Alright, this will probably pop a spellbomb, which is also fine. I'm not sure which one I actually want to target. I'll target Field of Ruin. Because at some point they're going to run out of basics. And I know they're holding a double black card in their hand. Alright. 1 spellbomb down. Thoughtseize. You snake. Alright, so return target permanent to its owner's hand and draw a card is probably what I want to do. Targeting a Swift Spear, like obviously that's not ideal. See, is there a better thing to do here? Like that'll save 1 damage at least. I'm going to leave up green in case I spike Veil of Summer. Pretty close to being something I want, but nope. Alright, so the Thoughtseize takes them off double black, so my pressuring their dual land actually did do something here. They can't Lurrus this turn unless they have another land. With 4 cards in hand, it might be pretty likely they have another land, though. Guess we'll find out. Now we're pretty far behind. We have a lot of really great top decks, but we are definitely behind. And I am just F6'd and waiting for my opponent to figure out how they can deal 13 points of damage to me. I think if they had a black source, Lurrus would already be in play with another Soulscar Mage. So it looks like they're sequencing around that. Like they have to make that play next turn. Maybe they're deciding if Wrenn and 6 is worth killing or if they just want to go face. I would go face here. Wrenn and 6 is not actually doing anything. Unless I draw exactly Lonely Sandbar. Or the other Triome. But Triome is much worse than Sandbar. Of course, I'd rather just draw, like, Uro. Let's be real. Or Big Teferi. I'm into Big Teferi. Is he still in the deck? Yeah. Hour of Promise is cut, unfortunately. That would be worth a lot of zombies. Oh, wow. They just dedicated 5 damage to killing Wrenn and 6 when I'm at 13 with no lands in my graveyard. Alright, I hope I'm able to punish that. Hey. That is not bad. I guess the question is, do I just clear what they have, or do I plan for the Lurrus? And I'm going to plan for the Lurrus. Green, blue, white. So they could definitely just Kolaghan's Command this. I'm pretty glad I'm not at 8. They're also pretty far ahead on board, though, so they don't even really need to commit Lurrus, but they did anyway. Fair enough. Ooh, I'm a little surprised that they went with Nile Spellbomb and not just like Soulscar Mage. Maybe they just think they're so far ahead that they just need to keep drawing cards and pressuring damage, and they don't want to just lose to a sweeper. Though now any spot removal is good, where if they had played Soulscar Mage, they would have needed an actual sweeper. Mana Leaks looks pretty bad here. It does still get Kolaghan's Command. Could also just lose here if their hand is a bunch of bolts, but they've cast 3 already. Cling to Dust. Alright, yeah, that's just for Prowess. I'll point Mana Leak at any spell that goes on the stack right now. I'm glad they didn't hit me for 5 that couple turns ago with Ren and 6. I would be dead right now. Literally any spell gets countered here. If you put it on the stack, I put it in your graveyard. Alright, deck, help me out. It's not really what I was looking for. So they're going to bomb me. They have Swift Spear, and there's a Lava Dart in the graveyard, so that's 3 damage already. Plus they're going to have 4 cards in hand, maybe up to 5. All right, so we've found the answer to the question: how many basics do they have? That's 4 damage with the Lava Dart. It's not feeling good here. Oh yeah, very dead. Let's see if they... Oh, it doesn't even matter. Yep, I'm dead. Wrecked. Alright, yeah, that one is a tight one. Those Lurrus decks are really strong, to the surprise of nobody, because Lurrus is banned in several formats. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I like what they were doing over there. We fell just a little bit short, drew a few too many lands in one game and a few too few in another. But when you play 29 lands, that's kind of bound to happen. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, on the play once again. Won all 4 die rolls so far. This hand is much like the one we kept a couple games ago, where it's just not a whole lot going on early, but just chugga from there. I suspect that leading on Triome tells my opponent exactly what I'm playing, and I'm not sure how much that matters. Oh, Turn Timber Symbiosis. Are we playing against Belcher? If so, this is a good deck to have Force of Negation in my hand against. Yeah, this has to be Belcher. Talisman of Resilience. Alright. Or oops, all spells, whatever, Belcher. I think it's Belcher in Modern. I'm not going to lie, I am well versed in the Legacy version of this deck, but the Modern one, not so much. Wow, having Thoughtseize in your Belcher deck is really good. So they're going to take Force of Negation, like, certainly. Alright, time to find out if I'm dead. I am going to fetch here. I have plenty of lands. I'm going to get something that is an island. I'm going to get the other Triome. Like, I don't think this game's going to go long enough to... Ooh, that might be a saving grace. Red or green? I think most of the rituals are red, and their talisman doesn't make red, so they'd have green anyway. Alright, I hope that screws them enough. Probably doesn't. I don't know. Alright, so they still don't have red. They do have Sword of the Meek for some reason. Alright, so Mystic Sanctuary puts Force on top of the deck. Uro draws Force. Oh, I need green mana. It is required. So I was going to do that anyway, even if I didn't draw the Force of Negation. But, or it didn't draw the Mystic Sanctuary, I was just going to fetch for it. Like, that play was still there. But it was nice to just have it anyway. Maybe that wasn't nice. Maybe that sucks, because I was going to do that anyway, and then I ended up drawing a land instead of a spell. I have plenty of lands. Undercity Enforcer. Oh shit. That card is a creature that I cannot Force of Negation. Time to figure out how this deck wins. I think Salvage Titan or something is involved. Okay. Let's actually get a peek at this. So they have Creeping Chills and Narcomoebas. The Chills deal 12. Two Narcomoebas come back. Those trigger the other Sword of the Meek. So they're going to end up with 2 swords and 2 Narcomoebas in play. Oh, Nexus of Fate is the last card in their deck. Okay. Oh, there were multiple swords? The graveyard didn't sort itself. That's cool. Salvage Titan comes into the hand. And then they play it by sacking swords, right? Oh, and there's Vengevines. Alright, alright. Let me get a good look at this graveyard, but I am dead. There we go. Alright, so... Vengevine... Really, there's one Thoughtseize in this deck and they had it. Though it didn't matter. They win with creatures. This is not a Force of Negation. This deck is not super susceptible to Force of Negation. Belcher is, Oops is not. Balustrade Spy. Okay, so I am dead on board. Alright. That's a weird deck. Containment Priest, that's what you're for. Mystical Dispute can fight over Balustrade Spy. I suspect Veil of Summer will be good against their counterplay, like whatever they have, discard or whatever. Stony Silence doesn't matter because they don't actually activate the things. Cleansing Wildfire. That seems pretty good. That's just straight up Stone Rain with a cantrip against this deck. So Supreme Verdict and Fire Spout are only good if Teferi, small Teferi is in play. Oh, Wrenn and 6, not great. Cryptic seems important. Jace probably not great. Engineered Explosives, that can, if I put it on 2, I can clear out all of the swords and Narcomoebas before they can get Salvage Titan. Oh, maybe that's something I want to do. Yeah, Force of Negation actually seems actively bad. It just doesn't stop anything they're doing. I guess Stony Silence I might actually want because they had the talisman. Gust doesn't stop what they're doing. Do I want Fire Spout? Like, are they ever going to put like 2 Vengevines into play and pass the turn? Is there a way for them to like slow dredge, quote unquote? Wrenn and 6 just seems really bad here. So does Lightning Bolt. Path doesn't seem great either. I might want Uro more than I want Path. Alright, this is what I'm going to do. I don't know if it's good. But I have to win a fight over a creature at some point, basically. Yeah, I'll keep this. Yeah, so if I get a second turn, this hand's pretty good. If I don't, obviously, fuck me. I don't know how much turn 1 potential this deck has versus like if it always sculpts to like a turn 3 win. Turn 1 Thoughtseize. They're probably going to take my Wildfire. I was so excited to just Stone Rain them. That's all I wanted in life. Let's draw Mana Leak. Alright, that's not quite Mana Leak. I have Growth Spiral to get a redraw here. The path does force them to have 4 mana available immediately. Like the like if they have Undercity Informer, if they have Balustrade Spy, it doesn't matter. Pentad Prism. Okay. Alright. So Stony stops that too. I think I did board in the Stony, right? Yeah, I did. Okay, good. Now let's draw it off the top. I want the other Triome. Ooh. I could just slam Omnath, but that doesn't matter if I'm dead. So if Omnath is in play, they bring back 4 Vengevines. I'm holding Fire Spout. The Creeping Chills do 12. Do I think, or do 12, and then the unblocked Vengevines do another 12? Okay, yeah, that doesn't help. Yeah, best I can do is try to mana screw my opponent. Again, they need 4 mana to kill me with Undercity Enforcer. And they need 4 mana to cast Balustrade Spy. Okay. They made black in their upkeep and I was scared. But the fact they're making black at all is also scary. My Omnath, probably. I don't know if this is scary or just necessary. Like, are they... Am I dead anyway, or were they just trying to stabilize? Yeah! Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. Alright, it looks like they're just bricking, though. I'm gonna Mystic Sanctuary my Cleansing Wildfire back up. And let's get this in play. Nice. So I'm pretty sure I just want to draw a card with Teferi right away. I'm not going to reset their Pentad Prism for them. Though, bouncing it does set them back a mana on next turn, which, like, almost guarantees me a turn after that. Versus, I don't know, like, they have to remove Containment Priest and combo off. Or they can just cast Vengevine. That's also fine. I am holding Path to Exile. Get out of here. They saw that off the Thoughtseize. That shouldn't be a surprise. I have to assume if they play removal at all, it would have to be like Dismember. So the Veil of Summer should chill this game out. Alright. Navigated that one through some careful mana control. Maybe I do want the Forces of Negation just to fight over the Signets and Pentad Prisms. Or like if they try to Thoughtseize my Containment Priest, I can get them that way. I think Fire Spout's bad. I think planning for a game where they go off and then I beat them is a bad plan. Ren. I like Growth Spiral a lot here because I am planning on passing with mana up most of the time anyway. Yeah, and the Path to Exile. Maybe that's just all around bad. So if I go down to one path, what answers do I have to something like Hardcast Vengevine? I can just block it with Omnath. I have the Supreme Verdict. Teferi can bounce it, Uro can arrive. Yeah, I mean, that seems okay, I guess. Maybe I want Jace over one of these forces. Though, no, I want every card in my deck that can help me survive past their combo turn. So hitting the enabler rather than the payoff is the thing I missed in game one that I understand now. Hour of Promise is the worst card left in the deck here. Okay, I'm ready. Alright, Mana Leak, one of the better cards in my deck here. One of the only... It's the cheap unconditional counter. It's soft counter, but it is unconditional. Though I do need to survive to my second turn to represent it. Modern's pretty diverse. Like, we played against 4 pretty different decks in 4 rounds so far. I like that a lot. The state of the format seems reasonable. Alright, I'll just be honest and play my Triome. I could play Flooded Strand and try to represent something, but I don't think they're a deck that can play around a bluff. Just have to hope they don't turn to me. Yeah, they're in the tank. I guess deciding like what decision is there to make? I guess it's Thoughtseize or try to ramp this turn. And this definitely just takes mana leak. These Thoughtseizes out of this build of the deck in Modern are much more impressive than what the Legacy version does. Wop, 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 wop. Let's hope that's actually good. Yeah, I think I want Flooded Strand to be in play. If this Force does get cast, though, I lose Uro, which is my only action. Duress? You dick. Alright. I lose my Force of Negation now. Yep, and it would have mattered. Alright, they're also taking Uro. 1 card left. So it's time to draw one of my mana disrupting things. Alright, I'm going to fetch Triumph to make sure my mana is as perfect as it can be. So, Field of Ruin, Cleansing Thing. Alright, we missed. Probably just dead. If they have a payoff, we are going to lose here. Belcher. Wait. I'm not just dead to that one. I can bounce that this turn. Turn target permanent to its owner's hand, draw a card. That's what I want to do. I mean, I'm dead to it next turn if I don't draw Stony Silence. Or if they just rip Balustrade Spy off the top. Another answer, Stony Silence? Ren and 6. There you are, being unhelpful, like predicted. Yeah, I can play Mystic Sanctuary to put... I could fetch something and get Uro into play, but that... Oh, I guess I do have outs, so... blue, green, green. Alright, so I get basic forest with this. I bring back Uro. If I draw exactly Stony Silence, I can win this game. Blue, green, green. Stony Silence, didn't get there. And now I take 50. Alright, so they cast 3 Thoughtseizes, ripped me apart, and killed me. This matchup actually feels really bad. Like, unless I get some sort of permanent hateful thing into play or really disrupt their mana early, that does feel like I'm going to lose most mid-game situations. So, Yeah, that's definitely something to consider. Stony Silence seems to be the best card I can play against them because it cuts off their whole sideboard Belcher plan. Like, they didn't have Belchers in game one. They must board into Belcher as a secondary win con or an alternate win con once I bring in Graveyard Hate for game two. Alright, well, noted. Very interesting stuff, and that deck is pretty resilient. I was impressed. On to the next, final round. Alright, we're on the draw with a 6-land Uro hand against a Lurrus deck. So I actually like this hand quite a bit against like a Shadow style deck, but it's really bad against a Prowess style deck. I'm going to keep it though. Like, this hand is pretty immune to turn 1 Thoughtseize. Like, it puts Uro in the graveyard, which is mostly where I want it anyway. Alright, they liked the top of their deck. Oh, no, they didn't. They changed their mind. They were just being fancy. I guess making the play like this turns on Revolt for my turn? I don't know. Maybe they changed their mind. This is probably a deck that I'm going to want to have Engineered Explosives against. I'm going to get my Snow Island. And then just proactively play this EE for 1. That acknowledges Death Shadow, Swift Spear, Hex Drinker, all of those things we've seen. It plays into Abrupt Decay or Kolaghan's Command, but it plays around Thoughtseize. Also saves mana for future turns. They will have to acknowledge it at least a little bit. Alright, so because this Engineered Explosives is in play, I feel like I'm unlikely to be super far behind next turn when we go into the Uro turn. This Wrenn is drawing a lot of cards, though. Oh, baby. That's what you're up to. So I'm going to take 5 from this thing. So they might play around Lightning Bolt by not fetching. Ah, couldn't punish. I would love to bolt this thing right now. Inquisition, that's going to take Uro because it has to. And that sucks. So I'm going to get probably Steam Vents. No, I'm going to get one of the Triomes, the Rug one. No, I want white mana. Yeah, this gets red and white, maximizes what removal I can draw. Cool. That is pretty good. Punish them for that aggressive fetch. Even a little bit. This card is nice. We haven't seen this one in the league yet. So I can hold up Cryptic next turn, which I might need because this Wrenn is about to emblem. I might just have to bounce Wrenn so I don't get emblemed out. They'll probably just wish for Lurrus here. Though they have 5 cards in hand. I don't know what I'm talking about. They could do so many things. I would kind of like if they wish for Lurrus, because then I can line up my Cryptic command against it. Shadow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I cannot Uro this turn. I can Uro next turn. Yeah, I might have to just... I'll take 3. I will not take more than 3. Like, if they fetch before damage, I'll pop. This is probably going to unlock, like, Shadow, Swift Spear out of their hand. So what does the Wrenn actually cast? It just has Inquisition of Kozilek in the graveyard right now, like, as far as emblems go. Though if they find a single Lightning Bolt, then I'm in tons of trouble going long. Just have to decide how important them not having an emblem is to me. Alright, so I need a green source off of this fetch. I'll get Ketria Triome. So I could just Uro here. I could hold up Cryptic for Luris. But if they've sequenced just like a single Thoughtseize or anything, that's pretty bad. Alright. We're getting after it. One, two, three, four, five, six. Next turn I start making zombies. Guess we'll see how ready they are for this Luris. I mean, it's not, or this Uro. It's not a surprise. Like, it's been in the graveyard basically the whole game. Alright, it's emblem time. Am I just getting burned out? Though Force of Negation is pretty insane against the emblem, because I can just exile the thing forever. Alright, do I care about this? It's going to get at least 2 cards if I don't counter this. You know what, whatever. If you want to spend the cards in your hand, shredding my hand is what it is. The best card is Cryptic, which they can't take with Inquisition. Alright, there's Luris. It's going to replace Shadow. Unless they have something better. Inquisitioning me again. My poor Force. Alright. It's go time. So, what's the correct way to sequence this hand? So, they're at 9. Can I kill them? So I think I just attack first. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh. I'm making 3 zombies this turn at least. Like that is happening. It's just how I play this Cryptic that matters. I think I just want to attack them first. Alright, Mystic Sanctuary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could target the Force. I don't think that's good though. I think I just want to hold up Mystic Sanctuary. I guess I'll target the Force. What the hell? No, because that's not even actually a card I want. And I have to target it, but I'm not going to get it back. Colorless, blue, green, and I'm still holding up Cryptic. I want to keep this one. Beautiful, zombie army grows. This is what we were looking for. And I'm holding on, I can Cryptic to tap and bounce Mystic Sanctuary, plus Uro attacking. We have them in the lock. It's just if they can break out of it with Luris plus their hand. Sure. That doesn't matter. They're dead to my zombies. As long as their lifelink creature is tapped going into my turn, I'm going to be attacking with 3, 4, 5, 6 zombies. They have 2 cards in hand, plus their Luris spell is still available. I think I counter draw with Cryptic because now that I'm going to have 2 fetch lands in the graveyard, so I can bring back Uro next turn anyway. Yeah, I can do everything I want to do here. Begin combat. So this is when I start taking actions. I should leave some number of basics in my deck because I'm about to activate Field of Ruin. Alright, yeah, there is a basic left. So I'll destroy this red land. Alright, yeah. They're dead. Powered through the red emblem. Okay, Timely Reinforcement, Supreme Verdict. We've seen this before. Condemn. I think that's what I want. Hour of Promise, once again. Sorry, Hour of Promise. You really never did get to do your thing in this league. Yeah, that looks good to me. I want Fire Spout against this particular list. They showed me that like 1/1 haste landfall creature, whatever that's called, Wildfire Elemental maybe. That's a card I want to answer early and often. And what's the cut for that one? And maybe it's just the other Growth Spiral. All right, let's do it. It's possible I'm cutting Growth Spiral too aggressively. Maybe that card is great, but I'm not sure. I don't know if I believe that. Not in this sort of matchup, anyway. It does set up your haymakers to be better. Like, if you get to those mid-game situations where like you're just slightly behind or at parity and you draw 5 mana to fairy, but only have 4 lands, like maybe you should be maximizing your top deck potential with Growth Spiral all the time. But I think that by having more active cards early in the game, I'll maximize having more top decks available to me as a function of having more turns in the game because I'm not dead. So I like this. If you have any experience with this deck, feel free to sound off in the comments. Alright, let's go. Hopefully this is the last game we play in this video. I'll keep this. Like when your deck has 29 lands in it, you have to keep some awkward looking ones, but this answers their earlier threats and their later threats. Like these 1/1 removals. There's nothing super critical if they Thoughtseize me here. Yeah, like I'm not even losing anything I really care about. The Lonely Sandbar is going to get cashed in for another card at some point. Like for now, I don't mind Lonely Sandbar just sitting in my hand as a spell they can't Thoughtseize. Just a mystery spell that they can't Thoughtseize. And I don't think they have any creatures that I would care about leaving up Bolt this turn versus getting my mana set up. Like, I think the worst thing they can do is like Swift Spear and attack for 2 or 3. And I'm not really worried about that. Yeah, I couldn't Bolt that anyway. That is already a 4/5. Tarmogoyf is a hungry boy. Alright, I'm just gonna hang out here. I don't want to cycle Sandbar yet, because the only card I can draw that I'd be really excited about is Path to Exile. And any other thing I draw, like Teferi or like any other answer to this Tarmogoyf, could get Thoughtseize because I don't have enough mana. Path is the only one I can cycle into and cast this turn. Tarmogoyf is scary, though. That is a beefy lad coming out fast and hard the way that Tarmogoyf does. Nihil Spellbomb. I don't super care about that. So I think I want to... Do I fetch first? No, I think I cycle first. That gives me more information to fetch with. I was like 99% getting Hallowed Fountain regardless. It was just whether I wanted to get it tapped or not, and drawing exactly Path to Exile would inform that decision. Alright, so we're at a point where I'm more interested in cycling this Triome than having it in play. Played the island instead of the forest for Mystic Sanctuary considerations. That Spellbomb made Goyf a little bit smaller. That's funny. This looks like something boltable they're about to cast. Or it's Wrenn and 6. Yeah, okay, it's Wrenn. Yeah, we saw last game that Wrenn and 6 isn't actually super important against us. I mean, them hitting all their land drops means they can continue to reduce their life total, and it also means that they'll eventually be out of mana leak range. Yeah, so I guess buying back that fetch land kept this Death Shadow out of bolt range, because that was 3 life. Let's just draw Supreme Verdict. How about that? Timely Reinforcements. Are you something I'm interested in? No. You make 3 guys, you don't gain life. I think Cryptic getting into the tap draw loop is where I want to be right now. Having 2 Cryptics is pretty nice. I have the Mystic Sanctuary set up for next turn. I just want to tap draw these creatures until I find Supreme Verdict. Tap all creatures your opponents control, draw a card. That's the one. Yeah. All right. Don't Thoughtseize me right now. Please don't Thoughtseize me right now. Oh, that's so good. Cast 2 more, but no Thoughtseize. All right. So I do need another white source to make this happen, which is awkward because that knocks out my Mystic Sanctuary. Beep, boop, boop, bop. Get out of here. Alright, they still have Luris, but I have 2 bolts for that. And I have the Cryptic Command in the background. I might want to bolt Ran and 6 end step, untap, bolt it if they don't do something better than that. Alright, that play doesn't work on a Tarmogoyf, unfortunately. So I think I want to clear this Ren. Oh wait, no, they're at 7. This double bolt could just kill them. Alright, I'm going to hold my horses. I guess Teamer Battle Rage is a pretty bad card for me here. So I'm actually just going to settle into the tap draw again with Cryptic and hope that they go to 6 for some reason. This bounce draw might be better. Oh no, bounce draw is so much worse. I just played straight into Veil of Summer. Whoops, I might lose because of that. Yep, I deserve that. Oh, I shouldn't have conceded. I'm just going to 3. But yeah, I noticed that 1 second too late. Fuck that up. I'm pretty sure we had that game. Womp, womp, womp. Alright, so now that I've seen Tarmogoyf, Aether Gust rises in stock. Tarmogoyf and Ren and 6 are both gustable but not boltable, so that's something I'm interested in. Maybe Jace is just not where I want to be. I don't think I want to cut any more than that. Though Fire Spout doesn't hit Goyf either, and Aether Gust also hits the Brush Fire, Wildfire Elemental, whatever that card is. Alright, I'll do this. Yeah, I fucked that game up. Lightning Bolt and Celestial Purge without much else going on. This hand is almost good. If this was any other land, this would be a great hand. I'm going to mulligan, though. Alright, this hand is much better. Yeah, in London Mulligan World, there's no reason to keep a sketchy hand, basically ever. At least not a sketchy 7. Once you're on 5 or 4, you can start keeping sketchers. Yep. Our regularly scheduled programming of Thoughtseize. Now they can line up their threats against my answers. If they have Tarmogoyf, they take Gust. If they have Shadow, they take Purge. I'm going to get Jeskai Triome here. Let's get that white mana set up. Hello, hello. So taking Purge makes me think they don't have Tarmogoyf or Ren and 6 here. And if they do, I will slam my Aether Gust on it. Alright, they have this guy. Wait, That's illegal. So I go, that's just going to die to this Uro that they've seen. So I'm going to get Hallowed Fountain with this one. And then I get, oh wait, no, I want Triome, Ketria Triome. And then I get basic island with this. And then I'm at 20. So unless they can lose life at instant speed, or deal damage to me at instant speed. Yeah, get out of here. Take a walk. Scourge of the Skyclaves. They literally saw that in my hand, right? Like, they knew I could do that. Cast another one. This card. Okay, so green, blue, red, white. I can Omnath plus land drop next turn. This is the first time this has happened. It's the last game of the series, and we finally get to Omnath, unless it gets slot seized right now. Death Shadow. Okay, white, red, blue, green. Pew pew! Alright, so we get to gain 4 life, then fetch and Uro. This makes that, so I can't actually play Uro from my hand, or from the graveyard. I can play it from my hand. Mystic Sanctuary can get back Celestial Purge. Okay, that sounds good. Put Celestial Purge on top. Yes, please do that. And then I cast Uro using the red mana. And then I purge Death Shadow. That's the third land. And they're dead. Wow. Finally, Omnath showing up in the last game of the match, or the last game of the league, to go absolutely ham bananas. So this deck was sweet. Our losses were close. Our wins were also close, I guess. It just felt like a lot of good Magic being played. Like, I never felt like any serious bullshit was occurring on either side of the table. So that's usually the sign of a healthy format. We did play against 3 Lurrus decks, which may or may not be the sign of a healthy format, but I think Lurrus is really interesting when it's not just breaking. We did play against 2 non-Lurrus decks, and we are a non-Lurrus deck ourselves, so half Lurrus, half non-Lurrus was the metagame we saw. And there were 2 very different Lurrus decks, and then, like, 2 of them looked like kind of the same with a few card choices different, and one of them was very different. So, I don't know. Modern seems good. I like this deck a lot. This is probably the type of thing I would play if there was a Grand Prix tomorrow. This is totally my shit. And you're never really just dead to anything. You always have a plan. You always have outs. And I'm into it. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Talk to me on Twitter, in the comments, whatever. I'll answer any questions. And see you next time.